Okay, um, so let me fix the light. I look so ghastly back here. See if that'll help. Ah, my goodness, that's a little bit better. I need to fix the lighting, but we will go from here. So I think I've got everything set up. I just hope that power does not go out like it has in the past. We'll see. Um, so I've not seen how this will work. I've got everything set up, so I'm just hoping this is going to go. Tonight I figured we'd do a I was going to do the uh, poster, and I'm really kind of under the gun here. I've got not a lot of time, and I need to finish this poster. I'd like to have it done tonight, if not majority of it done. So I want to be hanging out. This is gonna be a long stream, and we're just gonna hang out and have fun. If you haven't seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, it's a John Hughes film. It is one of the films that he's filmed in, how would you say, part of it set in the Chicagoland area, like many of his other films. And it's going to be playing at the NARO, I believe the 29th. Don't hold me to it. I just know I have to get to the printers ASAP. Like if I could get it to the printers on Friday tomorrow, that would be super. If I can't, then it's got to be Monday morning, and get it to the printers. So I already have an idea. Normally when I do these, I kind of go through and I do a little bit of how would you say, thumbnails, but I think I've already got an idea that I want to use, and so this may work, it may not, but let's just see if the old noggin here can do it. And so my idea, and I'm just going to rough it out here just to kind of for spatiality. My idea was to have like John Candy's face, like really huge. And one of the things that I really love about the NARO is that it's carte blanche. I get to create whatever I want, and you can imagine that would for it is amazing, and but at the same time it's frightening because I really want to do such an amazing job, and I don't want to screw it up. So if you don't know about the NARO is located in Norfolk, Norfolk, Virginia, not England, for those that are in the UK might be tuning in. Wait. You guys could create your own theater, though. Maybe you have one in Norfolk, England. But yeah, so my idea is to kind of create this rough drawing here, and I know it looks pretty off. But the idea is I want to off screen, I've got some reference here. I didn't want to pop it up because I don't know how YouTube will be with copyrights. That's the only thing I worry about is like YouTube, how this is going. So my idea is that let's erase this. This is really bothering me here. Let's get a bigger eraser. I need to make that as bigger, but the idea is that I trolled the film to look for some inspirational reference photos, and one of them is kind of like John Candy screaming when he gets his jacket. Actually, no, it's right after he gets his jacket caught in the seat, both arms, and then he but in doing so, he gets mixed up on what side of the road he's on, and he ends up being on the wrong interstate. And if you haven't seen this movie, I'll just say that it's hilarious because there's this one part where he is like screaming, and during this scream part, it almost turns this cartoon part. It is, I felt like, the second funniest bit in there, and they're driving, and Steve Martin has this hallucination during this horrible, they almost get, plowed by these trucks, semi-tractor trailers, and Steve Martin has this hallucination during the screaming that John Candy is the devil and he's really trying to kill him. And it's something like it's really one of the surreal moments of like a cartoon. And but I had this idea of like, Steve Martin's at the beginning, he's running down the New York street trying to catch the cab because the cab is took off. And we're gonna make this a little smaller here. Oh, come on. And the idea is that he's running, it's kind of he's running down the New York street chasing after the cab. And it's funny because in this scene that he's chasing after the cab, John Candy's the one who stole his cab. He is like cursed on this trip, and this is a great holiday movie, especially because it's around Thanksgiving, and everybody's trying to get home. And so my idea would be to have the silhouette of John Candy in the background, laughing or screaming or something terrifying. I may change things, but that's the idea, is that to have him like kind of like screaming and or kind of like larger to life, and John Candy was really larger than life, so they have the idea of like Steve Martin's silhouette. But then I said, well, gee, what else could I do that would be hilarious about this? And I said, well, maybe if I faded out John Candy, and we had I like the idea of like the car, although it doesn't fly and it doesn't like do jumping. I seem to have thought there was a part where they had kind of like Dukes of Hazzard the car and it was flying and whatnot. I thought maybe it would be kind of cool to have like a car flying and then maybe a train. I don't know, because I like the idea of planes, trains, and automobiles, and like have a flaming car, going off here in the background. That's what in my mind I was thinking, is to have that as like this flaming car flying, and then maybe, I don't know, a plane somewhere, something like that. That's the idea. But it's kind of one of those things where you just kind of have to rough things out and see. And this may be where I have to kind of ghost a little bit of John Candy's face in the background a little bit, and maybe not push things, to and from. How do you say? Yeah, push and pull. And then, so I think I need to move that nose up a little bit. And then we're going to do a lot of squashing and stretching with this, just for the sake of time. So I'll go to distort. So I thought maybe this is going to be more of a cartoon one. And so I like the idea. I'm going to erase the car for right now because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of layer compositing on this just to make it work. So this will be, I know this is looking a little bit rough, but this is how they all start. I really do. I don't go in nice and neat like some people. I'm just not how I am. I kind of like go super rough in here and then just kind of refine, build, destroy, and I have a lot more fun that way. It allows for me a little bit more looseness that I like. I used to be really tight, and I just don't enjoy that anymore. And so I like the idea of I look at the comic book artists that I like, and they're loose. And so I was like, well, why not do what I enjoy? So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm hoping that I see the chat in my screen there, that it's up there. So I hope I see that, and then I can answer any questions with that. So this is kind of what I've got right now. So we're gonna go like this. I want to say you don't want to do too much detail here, so except for this. So we're gonna planes, trains, and automobiles, and have John Candy larger than life. Maybe we'll move this up just a little bit like that. Yeah, I think that's going to be where we go. And so yeah, we'll do that, and maybe we'll have a road, but let's go ahead and create a new layer because I want to push John Candy back a little bit. So we're going to fade that back down a little bit like this. And then I'm going to see about the idea of I like the idea of some kind of car shooting off, just all mayhem going on. Just see how that goes there. So if you're just joining me, I'm just to kind of give you context, I'm one of the artists that does I'm one of the newest artists that do movie poster promo art for the NARO Cinema in Norfolk, Virginia. And we print these posters to help promote the NARO and their showings. And we're really getting a really great fan base from it. And there's other places that are doing the same thing as we are. And maybe we'll just have a plane here, a jet come screaming help. Oh, now I know it. We're going to have them run down the tracks. There we go. That way I don't have to draw a train. See? Idea just comes right to me here. So we're gonna do train tracks. I was thinking, how am I gonna do plane, trains, and automobiles if I can't, fitting a train in with a plane and a car, it's a lot. But I always like to find a way to make that work. And then we'll kind of have him. Steve Martin's character, the silhouette, the businessman, running. The idea is that having him look like he's chasing after, you know, something, or running away from the carnage here. We'll just have the jet here like this. I'm already liking this idea. It's just, you know, silly, fun. It's really the only way to really go with this one, is to have, you know, this idea of a jet plane. I could, you know, I mean, there's one of those things where you can do accurate, you know, kind of be a little bit more accurate with the movie, but I think for this, it's you know, everybody knows the movie, so it's really just, you know, this is just figurative. It's not. We'll put some long wings on there. I may have to put something there, some flaps or something like that, just to make it just, you know, visually interesting. And so yeah, there we go. I want to rotate this car a little bit. I think it just needs a little more rotation. Let's select it and see if we can distort a little bit. I was kind of against distortion on stuff until I had seen, and of course it's late and I don't have my coffee. Well, I mean, I have my coffee, but it's not the same. Mike Valley, thank you. Mike Valley was really great at doing this distortion stuff within Photoshop. And I was like, gee. And he, you know, what he did with his Beetle series was just amazing. He'd worked on some animations, and I think one of them was the Beatles. And I was like, it's just a quick way to how do you say, create things and then redraw it, because you can redraw it and just tweak things and not have to redraw the whole darn thing. And I was like, well, I like that idea, and it allows me to kind of tweak. I don't use it too often, mind you, but you know, stuff like this definitely helps. And this has got that, you know, the car's on fire. If you I was just watching a little bit of it this afternoon just to get the ideas, and I was just like, oh my god, this is such a funny film. There's a scene where they're literally, you think things can't get worse, and it does. And that's what's so comedic about this movie. Is like, you think John Candy can't get more irritating, but he does. He totally gets, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, he was such a genius. Let's see. Let's just put a little bit of a tie here. See, I don't know if this will work or not. Let's just try this here, and then we'll put the tie there. And so, for my comic book style, just so you guys know, I like to use the default. Well, for me, it's a default. It's not a default, but it does come with Procreate. It's called the shale brush. It's just got a nice, loose graphical style. You can see it's a little rough, and it's not smooth, but it does give a smoothness to it, round out. That was another hang up I had from years ago. Is like, oh, well, you know, it should be my hand controlling it. And then I started to see other comic book artists when they were using Clip Studio, and they were all tweaking the brushes to help, make their ink work look great. And I thought, well, hey, if they're doing it, then, you know, stop being such a purist. So yeah, I'm probably gonna need to go back and look at some reference for the jet here, because I'm almost positive I do not, something's not right with this yet. And let's just check my resolution. So if you ever, I always get paranoid when doing this that I don't have the right canvas size. So I always go to canvas information, and then you can go to dimensions, and there we go. So I have 11.25 by 17.25, 300 dpi, and that's the untitled. So there we go. And Procreate's been pushing out some new brushes, and I've yet to kind of know which one they are. Maybe I'll do a review video about it, but yeah. So this is the idea, is that we'll have John Candy. In the background we have these jets, planes, and trains, and train track, and we're going to probably take the train track and we're going to tweak it a little bit. So let's do that. All right. And we'll go here. I'm just going to choose free. Nope, I don't want a free form. I want to distort. We're just going to push that train track further in a more dynamic way here. I'll have to redraw the legs, but I'm not worried about that right now. Yeah. Okay. So let's go with that. And I don't think I can type in here. No, I've got to go to YouTube for that. Let's see if I can do that without screwing up. This might be bad, so that's probably going to be a super bad idea. You know, let's see our content and live. I don't probably, yeah, okay. I don't want to go on there because I'm afraid I'll get some weird feedback, but it looks like at least the stream is working, so that's good. So I'll just tuck that back there. We'll continue here. Okay. So yeah, that's what was going on. And so planes, trains, and automobiles, the holy trinity of transportation. So let's go back and we're gonna fix in. We'll just probably tweak this a little bit. I don't know, that leg's not right. There we go. There we go. So, and then we'll fade in. So, once again, I mean, I could do this in black, but I don't know. I like the idea of the blue pencil and then going back over and inking it to kind of tighten up, and that's kind of what I'll do. Sometimes Procreate has this really cool trick where you can kind of go like this, choose black, and then tap and hit select, and dang, there it is. It's so great. I was like, thank you, Procreate, for doing that. But we're not going to go do that. We're actually going to go undo that. I know. And I'm going to ink it again. I just want to rough it out. So just kind of explain my process. So I'm going to turn this off a little bit. We're going to go and zap we're going to zap this part. I don't like to work with a lot of layers if I can avoid it. I'd rather commit to just a few layers, in particular with painting. If you go through my YouTube painting videos, and especially Procreate, you'll notice that I really do not do that. So I just stick to one layer, and very rarely, or if I do layers, then I will go and pop it out. And weird, I just realized this video is over here, so I've got this video over here. It was supposed to be this video over here the whole time. Yeah, I was supposed to be over here. So much. There we go. I was wondering why that weird videos. There we go. All is right with the world now. Silly me. So now you can actually see me drawing. I knew there was something I was missing. So let's go ahead and we're going to work on John Candy just a little bit. And so I think that's the main thing right here that we're going to try to do, is try to get a little bit more of a lightness for him. And so yeah, we'll try to do that, and then I've got to go and put my watch into theater mode because I'm busy. Let's see here. So we'll go into theater mode. There we go. Okay. And let's begin working on, get that color. There we go. We're gonna work on John Candy's portrait. Another reason why I really enjoy doing these posters for the NARO now is because I've done so much painting that it's a different style than drawing, and I just kind of wanted to go back to, you know, some of that drawing aspect. My last poster that I need to put a time lapse for. I wanted to do a live video, but just too many things were going and I couldn't do it. But I ended up doing The Shining, and it really sent me down a Stephen King exploration of all his novels. I don't have time to read, but I do have time for audiobooks, and I've been able to really kill a lot of books recently just from, you know, putting on an audiobook and then getting work done. So we'll probably not do there. We're gonna try to make this as graphical as possible. So I want this to have a comic book, at least if I were to do a comic book, this is the comic book that I'd want it to look like. And let's darken this out. So we're gonna do this. And I think the cool thing about comic books is that you don't have to be, you have a lot of freedom to go outside of the norm and push things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get away with in a painting. And definitely change things, so to speak. And I want to exaggerate this a little bit. I just don't think it's quite there yet. Let's go over here. See if we can make it even more cartoonish. There. So, hope everybody's having fun tonight. It's cold and miserable where I'm at in Virginia. Cold and miserable. He's a lot bigger than that. We're gonna have to make him a lot bigger. Alright, let's see here. I'll tell you what, it's funny how people like John Candy and Chris Farley were just so hilarious. I'd have to say if I had a favorite between Chris Farley and John Candy, for movies it's going to be John Candy. I mean, there was just something, they both were endearing, but John Candy was just so hilarious. It was just unbelievable. Him and Robin Williams were just they were just how would you say, I don't know how else to put it, but they were just like your everyday normal people until they got in front of the screen, and then they just had this magic that they had. I'm just going to take some more refining here for sure. So let's see how we're doing here. I probably won't see much of the hair because I think that we could probably get away with I didn't realize what a connected eyebrows. He almost has a darn unibrow in the reference photo. It's literally almost like a unibrow. And while I was thinking about this poster, I really had kind of forgotten how many movies John Candy was in. When you think about it, it's quite amazing how many movies he was in. I think he was in Stripes with Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. I think Dan Aykroyd was in Stripes too. And Home Alone. Was he in Home Alone? Yeah, he was in Home Alone. He's trying to help. Oh, and that's the other poster, just to let you guys know. I'll be doing the Home Alone poster as well, so that will be another one that I'll try to do live if I can, or at least in sessions. I'm gonna tilt this a little bit. Yeah, so he was in Home Alone. I'm trying to remember if you guys know any other movies he was in. Uncle Buck, of course. How could you forget Uncle Buck? Such a great film. I'd forgotten I'd seen that in the theaters, and just amazing how good he was. I think there's only a few movies I don't remember seeing him in that I probably should go and revisit. So I don't know. We'll see how. See what you guys think, if I'm getting a likeness or starting to get a likeness. Maybe not. I'm so used to painting that, you know, if it wasn't for these NARO posters, I don't know if I would been, you know, I've done a few, but of these like graphic style, but it's been so long, it's just like, I feel so out of practice with it. So it's nice to have a chance to flex this other side of me that I really haven't used in a long time, nor developed. And that's the other thing, is, you know, the ability to develop it into, you know, this fun graphic style. Hmm. Need to move that eyeballs over a little bit. There we go. This is, I don't know why, but I don't remember John Candy having a mustache except for in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Am I wrong on that? Of course, my favorite part of the movie for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the first night in the hotel. um, I'm not going to give it away, but when you hear that, those aren't pillows. Oh my gosh, I was dying. I remember seeing that in the theater and just going, I was laughing so hard I was crying. Literally was crying. It was so funny. Okay, there's a little bit of a dip here on that lip, so we're gonna. So I'll have to check, but I believe the poster. I'd have to go and like check my mail, but um, I believe my poster is supposed to be I think the movie's playing the 29th. I believe that's when it is, so we'll find. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting a likeness of the great John Candy, the late great. That's the problem with guys like this that are large. They just don't take care of themselves, unfortunately. We need to carve a little bit. But he was so funny. I heard I'm almost positive it's from John Candy, but somebody, I forgot where it was, I guess it was earlier in his career or something like that, and he was somebody was, I guess, thought he was like a stagehand and told him, hey, I need you to move this equipment, and he started moving it till the director said, John, get on set. Can you imagine that, being that humble? He could have said, no, this is my movie, I'm starring in it, and no, he just is helping move gear. And can you imagine? That's pretty crazy. It's endearing. So yeah, someone would be humble enough to help somebody out and not be a snot about it. All right, I want. Hmm. I've got to make this bigger. Man, his literally the shape of his lower area is even bigger than what I'm drawing it. I need to exaggerate it even more. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, all of this here has to go. It is not enough. I mean, he was a large guy. Man. Yeah. And even then, I don't think I'm really exaggerating. Hmm. So we're just going to darken this because this is all, you can't really see it, so this will probably be, there it is. We'll just do this. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Am I getting closer to a likeness? Maybe not. Maybe. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, this is not working yet. I think it's because I mean, he is just such a huge, maybe I just need to simplify. I'm putting too many lines. Hmm. Yeah. See. Just trying to figure out composition, and because I've got to do this for context, I have to do the text too. So we shall see how this will work. So if you are just tuning in with me, I am doing the poster for the NARO Expanded Cinema, and right now it will be playing, I believe, November the 29th, which means I really need to get this to the printer ASAP, so I don't have a lot of time to monkey around. So we'll see. I may end up having to make this smaller, but I kind of want to make John Candy the star of this, and I just gotta figure a way to get things working the right way to make it look like John Candy. I personally think this is one of the funniest movies of the 80s, but that's just me. And one that's, amazing. I mean, it's amazing. It's also one of those great family movies. I think you can take. You can pretty much. I believe you should be able. I thought it was PG. I wish I could get my students to watch it, but they want to. How do you say it? Getting them to watch anything like this would be. My kids loved it, but at the same time, they like stuff like Home Alone and whatnot even more. So, ooh, gotta plug in the phone. So let's see if I can plug in the phone. Boy, technical difficulties. There we go. I'm hoping that'll charge it. Is that the right one? Yeah, that should be in the charger, so hopefully that'll work. Let's turn on the other layer just to kind of see. Yeah. Okay. We could probably make the jacket darker here, or at least part of this part darker. Yeah, I'm gonna have to lighten that mustache. It's just too dark. He's got bigger teeth, so we should just make the teeth a little bit bigger. Show some of the gum. The tongue needs to be bigger too, so let's. It's funny how like it takes a while for things to get going. That nose is not right. We're gonna have to definitely rework that nose. And the eyes need to be spaced out. Definitely need to space out the eyes a little bit. Oops. Almost fine. Tilt. Let's try the other one and tilt it. Oh, come on. I have to draw some more here to figure this out. You know, it's just not quite working. Now let's take this and move it down a little bit. See how that goes here. Well, I think the expression is right now is just really trying to get him to feel like John Candy. So let's try to, I'm going to try and warp this a little bit because I feel like the face is just not quite there. We're probably going to struggle on this a little bit here and there, but we'll see what we can do to get it. Okay. So, why not that? Trying to get this to feel like a yeah, likenesses are tough. I'll probably have to lighten up a little bit here. Let's try. Getting the shape of the eye too is going to be good. All right. So let's see here. A little bit heavier on the lid here. All right. Huh. Yeah, when I'm really struggling, I don't really, how do you say it? It's hard sometimes to get the groove of the right feel. It's not easy. You're like, I don't know what to do. So just kind of just keep tweaking here. At some point, I'll move on to getting just the composition. I'll come back to this and tweak it some more. And sometimes you just need to step away from a little bit. I wonder if I should just make the eyes smaller. Let's make it. Right now, it's hard to get like, oh, that's John Candy. Money means right now. Yeah, I'll try to keep working on this. There's definitely a do a little bit, step back, do a little bit, step back. we shall see. So just to kind of give you an idea, let's go ahead and do a little time-lapse replay so you guys can kind of see. I started rough here and then kind of working from here and gone into like kind of tweak a little bit and spend more time designing. I can see that I need some more work on the eyes here. Make it a little bit smaller. I almost feel like if I made that nose just a little bit bigger and drop this all down, let's try that. So we're going to go here. Okay, let's try that. It's a little bit better. Still not there yet. So I may have to shrink this down a little bit, but I definitely want to get the likeness right first. So we're going to tweak a little bit here and there till I get it. And then if I have to make it a little bit smaller, then that's what we'll do. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's try that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's raining a lot here now. It is definitely raining a lot here now. All right, so where are we at time-wise? We are 10:08, so about an hour in. Still got plenty of coffee. So, I think the eyebrows have to be raised even higher, but yeah. That might give us the nose part, the length on the nose that I was looking for that I couldn't get before. I think I'm just going to go through and we're going to redraw this. All right. So, if you're just joining me, we are doing the poster Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that'll be showing at the NARO Cinema in Norfolk, Virginia, end of November, I believe the 29th. I believe the 29th. All right. And I will be there when it does. I will be there signing posters for those, so you can get your own poster. Ought to be fun. I always love meeting people who are fans of the movie, and we have that to share, and kind of funny, kind of fun to meet those people, especially when it was the Star Wars one. When I did the Star Wars one, I was thinking of doing one for there, but I was like, it was too complicated, and it was going to be way too many hours I spent on that. It was not going to happen, at least, and leave me sane. I was not going to be sane trying to do live and then work on that and then get it done on time, because I stuck to a more painted style than comic book, and it really was not going to work for that particular style. I mean, it was a good poster. I'm really proud of the work that it did for it, but yeah, it would have not worked for trying to do it in a live. It would have been so many different sessions. I wouldn't have been able to keep up with it. So, so does anybody have a favorite John Candy movie or Steve Martin? I liked Steve Martin. He's a really good actor, but I feel like he was such a good foil for John Candy's outrageousness that you really couldn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just when you think of like comedy duos, that is one of the great comedy duos of the 80s that that's why I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles so much. I mean, they just really complement each other. And John Hughes was such a genius at, making movies. Everything from Pretty to Pink, Pretty in Pink, not Pretty to Pink, Pretty in Pink to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. In fact, I think the trivia is that, drop that. The trivia is that Pretty in Pink is the only movie not made in the greater Chicagoland area. Go figure that. I'm not sure why that is, but it's the only movie. All the others, The Breakfast Club, was it Home Alone? His face here is still bigger. I've got to go bigger. I'm looking at him like, it's not big enough. Poor guy was just massive. See if I can do this without, yeah, so massive. Jeez. That's what I like about this brush, the shale brush, because it is a great brush for when you're trying to do slow, precise work, and yet it still holds a pretty good steadiness that I couldn't get from the other brushes. Okay, let's do some more of the I want to have some more excitement with the eyebrows though. Let's it's fun to be able to do line work in a way that I haven't been able to because of the doing work with painting. It's all masses and shapes, and here it's it feels a little bit foreign, to be honest with you. It's kind of like, oh, okay, but it's fun. I haven't really had to do this in a while, so I'm kind of happy to have this chance. Jeez, poor guy was so massive. And it's not even funny. It's just how, when it comes to like drawing this portrait here, or not portrait, but just kind of a caricature cartoon, it's like I have to do bigger because he's much bigger. And that's one thing I learned in caricature, doing caricatures, is that you can't do spot on. You've got to go bigger than, you've got to go even bigger than what you thought. for it to really be a recognizable caricature. That, you know, if they had a big nose, you had to make it 3 to 5 times bigger. And I've got a little bit of definition that isn't working here, so we're going to try and fix this here. I'm hoping that when I go to add color that this will come across. Maybe, maybe not. Hard to tell. Yeah, this is definitely a struggle bus here just to make sure I'm getting everything right. Well, I'm looking at it, and I feel like the eyes got to be smaller, maybe. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, I think eyes have to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, a little bit smaller. I don't know. If you have any thoughts, you know, let me know what you guys think. I'm just curious. I'm gonna, since it doesn't seem like anybody's on there, see if we click on this, and it might be a bad idea. This might be a total bad idea. Mute it. Yeah. So I'll see. Okay. Yeah, it looks like the stream's working good. I just was kind of paranoid it's broken, but no, it's working fine. Alright, so we'll go ahead and leave this page. Just wanted to make sure that it was all good. Alright, let's go back there. So, dum. Feels like I got the streaming software good. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this. But you can see I've really kind of taken up all this. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to go back and make them smaller. because I need to have room for text, and at this design there is really no text except for down here. So let's duplicate it for right now. Turn this off. We're going to make it smaller. Maybe we could go now. Let's try distort and see. Maybe it could pull it apart a little bit. Pull it down just a hair. Interesting. So now I've got to figure out how I'm going to do the text. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce this, and we're going to reduce this here. And I'm really enjoying doing the hand-drawn fonts. So I like the idea of like something like this, but it's just not going to work for planes, trains, and automobiles. So we may just like let's turn all of this off real quick. Let's explore a little bit of the fonts here. No, I don't like that. Let's go back and let's try more simple. Yeah. That's what I like about the hand-drawn typography. It's a lot more expressive. I put one in for Star Wars, but I told myself if I can avoid doing text for these posters, I was like, I'm going to avoid doing text for these posters because these hand-drawn fonts really just add to the illustration itself in such a way that it's fun. So let's okay. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. And try to do distort just to kind of get yeah, it looks good. Sometimes I'll just do like vertical lining like that just to kind of get an idea of what the text is going to be like, but we'll see. I'm going to do another one for trains. Now, it's about 10:30 now, so just to kind of let you guys know, I'm probably going to cash in at 11 because I got a regular jobby job to do and a special place to be tomorrow, so we will then have to make this a Friday night endeavor for sure. Whoopsie. That needs to be an eye. Does it not need to be an eye? It sure does. So if you'd like to see more of my work, you can go to my website, liquidmethod.com, and see more of my work. If you're tuning in for first time, I do a lot of outdoor painting, traditional oil painting, as well as all kinds of other stuff. But yeah, all of my stuff is based on art and drawing. Reset. Let's try to pull this out. Distort. Okay, and then uniform, freeform. Okay, and planes, trains, and I'll go ahead and merge those right now so I can move them up, because we all know automobiles is a lot longer. So we'll create a new layer. Oh, 16 Candles, yeah. Oh, it's funny, that movie. That's another John Hughes movie. where the main character has her grandparents come and visit, and they have a foreign exchange student named, I think it's Dong, and they're like, Dong, tell Grandpa where the automobile is, and he goes, automobile. And yeah, it's just a fun movie. That the foreign exchange student has the most fun out of the whole film. He's like becomes like a major party animal. Boy, is it raining hard outside. Yeah, that's a long one, isn't it? So, and I'll probably have to tweak a little bit, but at least get something going so that I can kind of figure out. We're gonna have to move this over. Just bring it over here for right now. And then I'll take this and we'll move the and carefully over and try and center it. There we go. Okay, this isn't perfect by any means. So I'm going to try and see if I can level it out a little bit. Okay, it's going to need some tweaking, but let's move it over just a little bit. And here. Alright, I'm going to duplicate it for right now, just to find positioning. Let's turn on those other layers that we were talking about. Yeah. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Oh, I gotta duplicate this layer. Bring it over here, and then we'll merge it down like that. Turn that off. And then now I can make this smaller. Do I have it down here at the bottom? No, I definitely want it here, but see, if I have it too big, it's no fun. Let's hit reset. All right, let's do uniform. And we'll leave it right there. Now, of course, there would be like the idea, oh, you could put it in his mouth, but then that would have to be really big. It would take away from the expression. You could put it over here, and it's not the same. So it definitely has to be centered. The question is probably here's where we'll put it design-wise. So that's kind of where we're at. So this has been a fun session. We are still got some time. Still have some coffee. So let's see about, we're going to turn off, well, that's an extra layer, to delete that. That was the big one. Let's turn that. Yeah, that's just, it was good to make it just a little bit smaller. And turn this off here so that we can kind of focus on this. Turn this up. And we'll turn the title off. Okay, so should we make the plane a little bit bigger? I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe that might be something to do. Maybe have it going off the side like that. Yeah. A little bit more dramatic. And then the car needs to be, I may have to go and rework that a little bit, but I think I still want more of an angle. I can't get the angle I want. Let's just bite the bullet and delete it and redo it because I can. So let's then we'll the wheels. I think it needs to be a little bit more forced perspective. There, that's it. Make sure the wraparound bumper is working, looking good. And I like the idea of a, window or something, like car door coming off. There's this part in the movie where the cop pulls him over there in the automobile, and it's like, do you feel this car is completely safe to drive on the freeway? And John Candy's like, oh yes. Yes, it's perfectly, I feel perfectly fine. The car is a complete disaster, rolling disaster. So yeah, just another great part of the movie. It's funny, my traditional digital painting, I guess you want to call it traditional, I'm always using the smudge tool here, but I this, but I never use it in this. until maybe I might color, but you know, after that, no. So let's see if we can figure out how to make this thing look like it's flaming hot. We need some action lines too, so. Part of me wonders how much I can get away with making this look like a flaming car that's flying. Yeah, this is the interesting part. And I try to harken back to the comic books that I would read as a kid and try to imagine how they were doing flames and smoke and carnage. All right. Well, I've got about 15 more minutes I'm going to put in. And yeah, this will be a 2-hour session here, which should be fun. Try to tighten up a little bit here. Let me go look at the reference photo for that. Pull that up. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and change this one up a little bit. We're gonna highlight here, go down. Okay. I might change the angle. Okay, let's see about that. And then have some shadows that might help. Hmm. Try to put on here kind of the hat, and he's got one of those old hat that's kind of timeless. I think would fit with the scene here. Part of me wants this face to have some kind of highlights coming out, but I don't want to overdo it. Try it again. This is the hard part sometimes, to do these little illustrations. Like when I did Christine poster, I had one that just, it was a good illustration, but I think it made it hard to get what I was looking for. That nose has to be higher. Hmm. I don't know. Sometimes the silhouette is better. We'll see. I'm not really feeling it right now. That's the one thing about Steve Martin's character is that you can see how selfish he is, and how John Candy is not, and he's always ridiculing John Candy's character, but as John Candy's character, he keeps saving his bacon, literally and figuratively, throughout the movie. Yeah, I just feel like that might work. Interesting. So, trying to get this out. And of course, we need to really have those engines come more up like this. Give that dynamic perspective. So we'll fill that in. We'll fill this in. This in. And then we'll carve it out. Yeah, something like this. Ugh. The coffee's wearing off. But we're going to try to brave it and hang on for the next couple minutes just to get it done. Yeah, it's not quite there, but we're getting there. Yeah, it's getting there. Oh, not too bad from memory, I guess. I'm just gonna have to go back and see a couple movies. Where are we at? Okay, we're at 5 minutes. So let's just hash up a little bit of where we're at right now. Yeah. So I think this is kind of where we're at. Obviously, I'm gonna need to work on the portrait some more for John Candy's character a little bit. I think maybe need to tilt it a little bit more or raise the eye. Not sure. It's getting there. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. And I was thinking this will be fun. Have some carnage going on in the background, to say the least. You know, some flames and whatnot, explosions, have the car fire, you know, and maybe even have it look kind of like this, kind of like what I did with Christine, have it come out, and then just, yeah, have this bright backlight. That might be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm just trying. How are we at time? So we got about 4 more minutes. Yeah, I think this is kind of getting there. I'm excited about this. I think this will be a good poster. I think that will come out to some fun things. And it's kind of cool to see, you know, in my head here, how it was kind of had an idea, but it was open to some things that came about. So all in all, not a bad effort, I would say. I'm gonna just work on the train tracks a little bit to make it look. I'll keep tweaking a little bit, but yeah, I may have to move things over, but but you get the idea. And this is fun, you know, to make these posters come to life, have a forum to actually do movie posters and share them with people and have them get seen. It's I tell you, it's and have carte blanche to be able to do whatever I want. It's really fun, really fun. I always enjoyed Drew Struzan and a lot of the other great Bob Peak and a lot of the great movie poster artists, and you know, to have my kind of forum to make these has been fun, and I just kind of thought I would kind of, hey, let me just throw this on unannounced, because I didn't really announce this, unannounced that I was going to do this live. One, I wanted to make sure that the software was going to work, and so far it looks like it's good. I finally gotten, I invested in a good mic, and it seems like it's hopefully sounding good. And so yeah, this is fun. I am definitely going to be doing some more of these because I've got on tap just to I've got to finish Planes and Trains and Automobiles. We'll do another session. I'll announce that when I can find a block of time. The next one is Home Alone, and that is in December, obviously. And then I have a combo poster of Christmas Story and It's a Wonderful Life. And I don't know how I'm going to do that one. That one's going to be interesting. I mean, you know, do I do a split screen or do I just, you know, have all the characters combined in one? I think that actually would be kind of cool and unique to have both movie titles kind of combined characters. Yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting. Yeah. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll just go ahead and do a little time-lapse replay real quick. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you would like to see more of my work, check out the other videos on my channel, Liquidmethod, and on YouTube. And I have a website, liquidmethod.com, where you can find all of my paintings and my digital paintings as well. Also, I'm on, I have a mailing list. I have social media, but I kind of really do not like social media, especially Facebook and Instagram. I would rather just be able to, you know, interact with you guys through email. And that's, if you want to see my latest work, email on my Substack or through, you know, sending up my mailing list to my website is going to, that's where I put all the new stuff first. So if you'd like to see that, yeah, sign up for my mailing list. Check out my website, Liquidmethod. Thank you if you've subscribed to the channel and like it. If you like this live video, if you'd like to see more, put some in the comments. And I will see you very soon. I'm going to be doing another block of this, and I still have to upload the Shining time lapse, just like you're seeing this one here. I've got to do the Shining time lapse, and I think even Christine. I don't think I've done the Christine poster yet either, so I'm going to do those as well. So thanks for tuning in. I've enjoyed painting live and talking about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and the late great John Candy and Steve Martin and John Hughes, who made this film. And I will see you guys very soon. Take care and happy painting. Adiós.